Hello and welcome everybody to PlayVS Playoffs here for the Rocket League side of things. We have ourselves at least, I think it's a 32 team bracket that we're going to be concluding here today to see who gets to be our victor of this entire PlayVS season. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is going to be hosting the matches here for you guys tonight as we go along. Of course, these PlayVS playoff styles, it's all single elimination. So we're going to have, as long as our Saints squad keeps on winning, we'll keep on having match after match for pretty much the majority of the afternoon. But of course, one defeat could call it all there. And starting things off is going to be, of course, St. Clair College up against Rochester Institute of Technology, the Orange Squad specifically. Now, this one on paper, it is going to be in the favor of St. Clair pretty heavily. I believe RIT is currently being shown as the 30th seed. Meanwhile, St. Clair is being shown as the 3rd. So, it should be, in theory, on paper, this should be a St. Clair win. However, anything could happen. Upsets can definitely happen right around the corner. And I know Saints are hungry. They definitely want to get back on the winning side of things after a tough loss yesterday in the UCEA playoffs up against Northwood University. Of course, the Northwood squad always seem to get the best of us so far this season, but we're catching up. We're right on their tails, of course. Now, of course, starting lineup for today, however, yesterday during UCEA we did have Endeavor sub in, but now Fusion is back in the starting lineup. And as you can probably hear, engines are revving. We're going to get right into game number 1 here. RIT versus St. Clair College. So you see Fusion back in action. Meanwhile, on the side of Rochester Institute of Technology, we do have Sunblaze, Josh V, and Zebward looking to shut off our playoff hopes nice and early, but we'll have to see. Sunblaze looking to try and make something happen early here, but not going to be the case. That was a nice little pop over by Fusion, but Josh up in the top going to make sure it doesn't hop into the crease. Fusion up top, right up just above the crease. Gonna try and get the shot off. Gonna be stopped by Sunblaze, who brings it off to Josh. Kamal with interception, dump and chase into the RIT zone. Sunblaze going to be first to receive it. St. Clair with some control, but a little bit of contest there from Sunblaze once again. But it does end up going onto the bumper of Kamal, who's coming in high. It's going to end up needing Fusion. Kariz looking to get a double tap here, and he's going to find it. Beautifully done by Kariz to get his own rebound there, get the extra tap necessary to dunk that thing right into the net. Beautifully done. Perfect angle. There was absolutely nothing the defender of Rochester Institute of Technology could do there. Of course, just a minute into game 1. Of course, all of these matches are still best of 5 series up until the semifinals and finals of the entire playoff bracket. And we do actually have the bracket available for you if you want to type !bracket in the Saints Gaming CA Twitch chat. It will bring it up for you so you can follow along with us at home. Last couple seconds, it's been kind of stuck in the St. Clair zone, but Kamal is going to be the one trying to stop that. Dumps and chases it himself. It goes into the crease, but Zebward going to contest Kamal up on the wall. Gets it past him. Starts carrying it into the zone. Sunblaze is going to just pick it up, hand off, but it's going to be denied by Fusion. But he's not going to be able to keep control of it. The RIT member coming in hot. Korea is trying to make something happen. Kamal gets another dump and just clears it into the RIT zone. Considering so far, I mean, this is still very early in this series. We're only halfway done game number 1. But from what I'm seeing from RIT so far here in this match is even though they may be 30th on the seeds, like, or 30th seeded, which is rather low, they are still keeping neck and neck here with St. Clair. As of right now, this is not a blowout by any means. One goal is absolutely nothing. That could get flipped around in a moment's notice. With the breakout opportunity, Sunblaze going to contest him up in the skies though. Shot from the side of the crease though from Fusion. Finds the opening and finally makes that third shot of his convert into a goal right on the outside of the crease. Solid angle. The defender was there but could not get a piece of it. That's going to be 2-0 for St. Clair. Moving forward, 2 minutes left to go in the first game. Sebward looking to get something started. Fusion just shutting him down, however. Josh passes it forward to Sebward, knocks it down. Sunblaze is nearby as well, going to pick it up and push into St. Clair's zone. Gets a shot off, but Kamal going to make that save. Brings it into the RIT zone, where Kamal is able to dump it right back into the corner again, where Kariz is up in the rooftops, ready to pass it forward, but ends up just being a dump and everybody else seems to reset. Exception of Fusion, who brings it into the crease. Tries to brute force it, but RIT is not going to let that one happen. Kamal, solid shot on target. Josh, though, going to stop that in its tracks, but it's still in the RIT zone. Kariz, Fusion, and Kamal were all getting aggressive for the moment. Kamal's fallen back now towards that center line, but actually kind of missed the clearing attempt there from RIT. The Fusion right there to come clean that up as well. A minute left. Still need 2 goals here for RIT to at least try to bring this to an overtime situation. Otherwise, game 1 going into the favor of St. Clair College. Off the backboard, Josh even trying to pick it up, but Kariz puts it towards the net. Kamal coming in hot, right on target, but a huge save actually from Sebward right in time, keeping this within 2. Not much time left on the clock now here. It's going to be Sebward down to Josh. Tried to get it back to Sebward, but it did not work. It's going to be Fusion trying to control it for just a moment, kill as much time as possible. Sunblaze gets a piece of it, going to try and pass it off to Josh. Josh, shot blocked by Kariz. Still a loose ball though. Sebward going to get the shot off the corner. Barely not going to go in this time by. Sunblaze going to try one more time, but as the time ticks down, St. Clair College going to be your victors here for game number 1. Of course, this was still an extremely close matchup. Much closer than what I was expecting between these two teams when I saw it on paper. The big props to Rochester Institution of Technology, as that was a fantastic first game. Like, defensively, they were definitely getting challenged, to say the least. They weren't able to get much offense going. They only had the 1 shot all game. But considering the pressure that they were dealing with, the fact that it was only a 2-goal game was actually pretty solid. So, looking forward to seeing how this second game goes. Of course, St. Clair up 1 in this best-of-5 series. First of 3 will move on in these playoffs. And like I was saying before, it's single elimination, but if you keep winning, you keep playing a match basically new match every 40 minutes or so up until the finals. Lots of Rocket League action here tonight. I'll definitely break it down further as we're in between games. But in the meantime, Sebward coming in clutch here for the RIT squad. They don't get very many opportunities to shoot, but he made this one convert. Got past, I believe that was Kariz, and was able to put it through. Sebward getting RIT on the board. Off the face-off, it's going to be Josh carrying it into the St. Clair zone. Off to Sebward, who kind of lobs it into the crease of the St. Clair zone. Off to Sunblaze, who keeps it in. Josh and Kariz battling it out, but it's going to go into Kariz's favor. Dumps it into the RIT zone. Kamal up in the skies trying to carry it, but maybe push a little bit too far. Sebward going to be able to stop that. Pop fly ball in center going towards the St. Clair zone. Kamal in control of it as of this moment. Sunblaze is going to tackle him for it, though. He gets past Fusion as well, gets up ball towards the crease. Kriz is going to be forced to try and make the save. Still a pop fly ball in the crease of the St. Clair zone. Finally, it's pushed out to center, where Kriz is going to be able to knock it over to Kamal. Nice pass, but a good stop there from Sebward. That would have been a shot if it was uncontested. So good timing there for the RIT squad to hang on to this lead. All to Kriz now in the St. Clair zone. Josh, huge tackle right on to Kriz, sends this right back into the crease of St. Clair. Kamal, maybe an accidental centering attempt actually, but Kamal is able to get his own save as well. Good stop there. That would have been right on target. Saints seem a little bit slow right now. They're not really, I don't know if communication seems to have disappeared or what, because they were all kind of bunched up in their own crease. Nobody's giving each other much room for movement. Nobody's taken to the skies or nothing. It seems very uncharacteristic for this St. Clair squad. They still have a little over half of this match, or of this game still to go. That's a huge shot from Sunblaze, and Kamal's not going to be able to get there in time. All of a sudden, the pressure seems to have completely flipped since that first game. And we're going to see Sunblaze get the finisher off of the pass from Josh. Then Sebward's already in the crease, ready to make interference with any sort of defense that comes through. A solid play for RIT, and they get themselves a 2-goal lead this time. Sunblaze coming in hot, but it's going to be stopped by Fusion. Kriz takes it into the corner. Nice little pass attempt. Can he find Kamal? He is going to get it off him, but there is still no boost in the tank here for Kamal to make any sort of follow-up. It's going to be down to Fusion and Kriz to try and make some sort of offensive play happen, and it's not going to happen as it gets dumped all the way into the St. Clair zone. Shot on target, maybe a little bit wide. Sebward with the solid attempts, though. It's still in the St. Clair zone until now. Fusion finally gets it out for the time being. Sunblaze somehow got the demo on a Kamal. That one was a little questionable, but it was interesting enough nonetheless. Going to get sent back into his own starting zone. Sebward centers to Josh. Shot barely going to go wide. Sebward could not find the tip necessary. Fusion gets past Sunblaze, but he has to deal with Josh now. Completely just checks him off the ball as it goes soaring into the other corner. As it gets to Sebward, Sunblaze lobs it up. Kamal going to make the save, but Josh is there for the rebound on target. Fusion going to stop that one as well. Going to clear it out, give Saints a little bit of breathing room, but they don't necessarily have much time to breathe here, as there's a minute 30 on the clock. Kriz shot on target. Josh with the save. Fusion going to try and keep this in, keep it going. Sunblaze going to have absolutely none of it, though. Just completely clearing it. In the St. Clair zone, Fusion controlling it as he goes into the RIT zone now. But Sebward gets a piece of it. Kamal with the demo onto him. Minute left in this second game. And Saints, they got themselves like 1 or 2 shots, but that's been about it so far. Otherwise, it's been in their own zone this entire time. RIT may not necessarily be pummeling them with shots, but they're always in the corner of St. Clair. Always threatening that a shot can happen. And I mean, if you're stuck in your own zone, you can't necessarily make the play. You see Kriz trying to make a For Glory shot right there all the way from halfway across the map, but it's not going to go in as Josh is going to push this aside. Kamal tips it over. Nobody home for the one-timer, however. 30 seconds left on the clock. Fusion trying to make something happen. Kriz drops down into the crease. Kamal coming in hot, but a huge save from Sunblaze to get a piece of that to make sure that that didn't go towards the net. Double tap from Josh to seal the deal as well. You'd absolutely love to see it. His aggression has definitely paid dividends here in this game specifically. Bounces it off the wall. The wall's, of course, your most consistent teammates, and makes it work. 3-0 with 12 seconds left. This one looks like RIT is going to be able to pull off the victory here. Game number 2. We're going to go into game 3, 1-1. Yes, RIT complete the shutout onto St. Clair for game number 2. Josh getting the MVP for that one. Let's take a look at some of the score lines. St. Clair getting completely shut out in regards to goals. They got themselves 5 shots on the deal, but yeah, the 5 shots compared to the 12 on the side of Rochester Institute of Technology. Definitely shows how quickly this game seems to have flipped, because it was just all RIT, it felt like, for the most part, in that game. Of course, game number 3 will be right around the corner. Just going to take a quick breather to, of course, thank the sponsors that do make this all possible. Of course, that being St. Clair College, St. Clair College Alumni Association, PC Outlet, Zuckelman School of Business and IT, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Let's get back into it. Game number 3. Hopefully the Saints in this situation can shake it off, and that's a huge start now for RIT. Sebward with the demo on the Fusion took out the defender, leaving this net completely wide open. Sunblaze having all the time in the world to just put that dead center. And this is actually troublesome right here for St. Clair College, as RIT are really starting to come together here at the very tail end of, since the tail end of game 1, going into 2 and now 3. Looking like a completely different squad. "30 seconds into this third game, 1-0 currently for RIT. And they seem to be picking up pretty well where they left off. They're just constantly in control. A huge shot there from Sebward. It's going to force Grizz to make the save, but it's still going to be stuck in St. Clair's zone, as Fusion's going to try and control this, pops it to try and get it out, but it's not going to be the case. Kamal gets a piece of it, kind of stuck on the center line, however. Grizz pushes it forward, but there's nobody going to be home. He's met by 3 defenders of RIT. Not going to be able to make anything happen in that scenario. Josh tries to pass it back for a shot. Actually gets passed back to Sunblaze, who's going to try and knock this down, but Kamal is going to make sure the shot doesn't happen, at least initially. Grizz is then going to go up to try and shut it down as well. Sebward puts it into the side and keeps it safe. That's right on target, though. Can Saints get there? They're not going to be able to. Sunblaze with his second shot and second goal of this game after just making a funny bounce right off of the wall and right on target. Correa's had a piece of it, but not enough to push it aside. Very, very interesting shot there from the side of RIT, from Sunblaze specifically. But once again, RIT coming in hot, getting themselves a 2-0 lead. This is definitely not the kind of match that I was expecting when I first saw the bracket this morning. Saints looking to try and turn this around, though, but it's just an absolute heartbreaker as the shot comes out, but it's going to hit the post. And nobody going to be home for St. Clair to get any sort of rebound. During game number 1, like, RIT was not able to get anything more than 1 shot because St. Clair was constantly firing off shots for themselves. But it's completely flipped. They've been focusing so hard defensively that they can't get anything. And Sunblaze, absolute axle breaker, getting himself the hat trick in this one. Slows it down and just makes the defense of St. Clair look silly. Waits for Fusion, waits for, I think that was Kariz coming in hot, or no, it was Kamal coming in hot, and puts it into the right-hand side. If there was ever a time for a timeout, I think you take that as St. Clair in between game 3 and 4. Because this is definitely a mentality strike here. It feels like coming out from RIT. They've definitely stepped up their game here this afternoon. Halfway through this third game, kind of just fumbling around the midfield as Sunblaze finds himself a possible breakout opportunity. Going to be pushed aside by Fusion. Still kind of in the St. Clair zone, however. Josh going to push it forward, but it's going to end up going to the bumper of Kariz. But right up high, Sebward going to make sure it doesn't even make it past the halfway mark. Kamal looking for the play, but he's not going to be able to get past Sunblaze. Shot from the corner from Kariz. Sunblaze again pushing it aside. I feel like I'm saying Sunblaze's tag constantly here, but he is absolutely all over the place in this third game, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Sebward goes for the save, but he actually completely whiffs. Gonna try and drop it down. Fusion went up high to try and get the shot off as well. Kamal going to try and keep the play alive, but a lot of St. Clair members don't have boost right now, so they're going to retreat. Try to at least slow it down so they can refuel. Fusion then pops it back into the RIT zone, but it doesn't feel like anything's really happening here. Kamal to Fusion just ends up being a pop fly. Can Kariz find a finisher? He's going to find a shot, but it's going to go wide. Loose, slow ball here as it goes over to Kamal. He's going to carry it off to the side where Josh is ready and waiting. And the play did not work as they were expecting. They're back in their zone once again. Sunblaze with control has been able to at least stifle this attack here from St. Clair with a minute left on the clock. They need something, some sort of magic trick right here to tie this one up. Otherwise, St. Clair are going to be put on match point, and their playoff run could get shut down nice and quick. And how about we tack on another one for Sunblaze as Joshi from the wall just sends it around, and there's nobody home. And the Sunblaze is going to put it into the left-hand side and make this a 4-0 game. .30 seconds to go. Kariz trying to make something happen here in the crease of the RIT zone, but it's not going to come to anything here, as at this point, all that RIT has to do is just stall this out just a little bit more, and they'll be A-okay going into this next round. And time ticks down. This one is going over to RIT one way or another. Let's hit the ground one final time here. And Saints are going to be in the hot seat. I mean, I feel like they do this to us every week, where they go down early and then bring it back to a game 5 scenario that make me like absolutely make me crap my pants or something. But it is it's scary to say the least. Of course, in that game, all goals from Sunblaze with a couple assists, 3 assists from Subward and 1 from Josh. For the side of St. Clair, I'm definitely feeling nervous as we move forward into game number 4. This just did not quite seem like their kind of play style. Like I was saying before, game number 1 was just constant, ruthless aggression, and they are able to make it so that RIT couldn't even get a single or more than one shot off in that entire game. Now something seemed to have clicked on the side of RIT to make them able to switch that up. And it looks like St. Clair are, in fact, going to be taking a second here in between games, which is something I know they don't normally actually do. So, take a breather, get ready to hop into game number 4. As it is now or never. Of course, they are favored in this matchup to win. But of course, seeds don't always mean everything, especially in certain leagues, if you know what I'm saying. But without further ado, game number 4 underway. Saints need this now. We need some Griffins in the chat. And let's see if the Saints can start this off right, as they do manage to get the face-off right into the RIT zone. Kariz and Kamal getting aggressive with it. Kamal centers, shot by Fusion, going to be pushed aside. It's a much better start, but can they keep this up? RIT starting to move forward into St. Clair zone. Josh picks it up. Going to get demoed for it, though. Taken off the play, but Sunblaze knocks it down to Sebward. Picked up by Kariz, but no more boost is going to make this a rather difficult play to make. Josh centers, not going to get the bounce that he was looking for. Sunblaze is going to send this back towards the center as well, but it's going to be stopped up by Kamal. Passes it off to Kariz and sends it into the corner. Kariz centers, but it's going to be pushed aside by Sunblaze. Kamal tries to clear, blocked by Joshi, who sends it over to Sunblaze, who centers it. Shots fired, and a huge goal to start off game number 4. Sebward and Josh were right there ready to make that finishing touch. In fact, they both might have got a piece of it just to put it past Fusion. 1-0 RIT. feel like the Saints haven't been on the scoreboard for like 2 games, but I know it's not necessarily been that long. In the St. Clair zone again, shots towards the St. Clair net. They're really struggling here to try and get this thing moving. Fusion gets it off the side to Kamal, but kind of accidentally bumps into his own teammate, stops any momentum he had. Josh going to send this back into the St. Clair zone. Kamal pushes it up to Chris, who shoots and hits the crossbar. Almost getting something started here. Excuse me, 2 minutes down into this game. Centering pass here from Sunblaze. Not going to make it in this time by. The Saints just seem absolutely scattered here. Korea's going to try and make the play. Brings it into the RIT zone. Tries to make the centering pass to Fusion. That might have been too slow. Josh with the interception. Sunblaze moving forward, but Kamal is not going to fall for it. He's going to push that one aside halfway through this 4th game. Good dodge by Koreas, but can he stop Sunblaze? He's not going to be able to do so. He gets dumped right back into the St. Clair zone. Josh with the shot, and he completely gets it past the defense of St. Clair. 2-0. This is getting scary now, St. Clair. Fusion was right there, but a nice change of direction there from Josh to secure that goal. Faceoff went into the RIT zone. However, nothing, again, able to really get started of this. There's no solid attempts coming out from St. Clair at all. They're always getting pushed aside. Josh with the clear back into the St. Clair zone. Chris tries to take the shot from afar. Sebward already up in the skies, ready for it. I'll tell you what, if this keeps going the way it's going, I am so surprised that this RIT squad is actually a 30th seed. Definitely don't make sense to me, but like I keep saying, the seed number isn't always everything. Okay, Chris tries to get it over the Fusion, but it's not going to be the case. Josh centers it for Sunblaze, but Fusion with the stop. Maybe a breakout opportunity here, but Sebward getting back in time. Chris shot on target, stopped by Josh. That was like the best shot St. Clair's had in a while, and they finally get on the board here with over a minute left in the game. Kamal coming in clutch as Fusion from the side finds Kamal charging forward and just drills it in there. They need one more to bring this to an overtime and keep their playoff dreams alive here. The 1 minute buzzer is off, and I'm sure both teams are absolutely shaking in their cockpits right now, as the Saints have basically left this net almost wide open there for a second. And if there's anybody you do not want to leave alone, it is definitely Sunblaze. He's been showing up huge in these last couple games. Kamal centers it. Fusion, can he knock it down? He's not going to be able to. Sunblaze is going to push it back up. Chris is nearby as well as Kamal. Kamal going to try and maybe make the shot. It's going to be stopped by Josh, however. Centers to Fusion, stopped by Josh. Kamal back into the RIT zone, but it is getting cleared. 20 seconds left on the clock. Saints seem to have had control up until this very moment. This could turn it around, but it's going to go wide. 10 seconds left to go. Kamal has it on target. Chris, he's going to be able to tuck it in. We might be going to overtime here. Chris didn't actually make contact with this, but enough of a push from Kamal off the roof, and they secure overtime if they can at least last these next 5 seconds. But of course, 5 seconds, anything can happen here. Faceoff goes into the RIT zone. Kamal, or no, it's Korea is going to try and make one final play for this one. All still up in the air. Of course, timer does not technically hit 0 until it hits the ground. And sure enough, we're going to be going to overtime for St. Clair's playoff life already in round 1 of these play versus playoffs. Regardless of the result, big props to both teams so far for the fantastic show here this afternoon. And Sunblaze wanted to end this quickly. He had a very solid setup, and it's actually still going to be scary. Off the post, anybody there for a rebound? Nobody available. Josh going to at least keep it in the St. Clair zone, however. Kariz looking to make the hero play, but he's not going to be able to find it. Sunblaze pushes it aside. Fusion sends it around the wall, centering attempt. Sunblaze is nowhere to be found, and we're going to Game 5. Kamal getting the hat trick, the hero that St. Clair needed, coming in clutch, getting it past all the defenders. And that pass around the boards from Fusion was absolutely perfect as well. Everybody stepped it up right at the last possible second. This is what I'm saying. For whatever reason, they just love to give me anxiety, it seems like, going to these Game 5 situations over and over and over again. But it definitely makes for some entertaining Rocket League. Of course, for that one, all goals on the side of St. Clair scored by Kamal. 2 assists from Fusion, 1 was a solo effort from Kamal. Then on the side of RIT, Josh and Sebward getting on the scoreboard. Sunblaze, after a huge game number 3, only really... Well, he was probably the leader in regards to shots. He got 4 shots for his team, but none of them converting into a goal. And holy moly, yeah, Saints are going to, once again, try and calm down and slow down this momentum here, because that one was an absolute nerve-wracking matchup, and you love to see it, to say the least. Looking forward to seeing how this one finishes up. Game number 5, right around the corner. We're hopping onto the field right here, right now. I didn't expect that we were going to have a match like this so early in the afternoon, but we are going to see this through. Game number 5, Rochester Institute of Technology versus St. Clair. Pop fly in the RIT zone, and Kariz is going to start this off strong. Keep riding the momentum from that final game there, from Game 4, and was able to catch Sebward out of position. He damn well reached for it, but could not find the spot that he was looking for. And St. Clair turning this momentum right on its head. Right back into the RIT zone. If this is the kind of aggression that St. Clair can keep putting out, this will be exactly what they would be needing to basically try and replicate game number 1. Ball currently in the RIT zone, and from the corner, actually, Fusion going to find himself on the scoreboard. It seemed like an innocent enough shot. Sunblaze just could not clear it like he was looking for. The Fusion drills it past Sebward once again, and all right, St. Clair got themselves this 2-0 lead once again, getting themselves their first non-overtime lead since Game 1. But if they decide to show up, this is the right time to show up, and they're looking for a third one, but this time it's going to be pushed aside by Sunblaze. Gotta wonder if this RIT squad might be a little bit shook after that overtime loss, considering that they had all control, it felt like, for the majority of the last 2 games. And they just kind of gave it away. Josh, though, is going to try and make something happen. Kamal demoed by the net, but Fusion is still there. And in fact, he's going to come out of the net to try and make the play. Going to get stopped by Josh, however. The pass over to Sunblaze is going to be intercepted by Kamal. And we're bouncing around back and forth here around the neutral zone. Big demo from Sebward on to Kamal. Back to the starting zone for him. Sunblaze trying to make something happen here. Doesn't have much boost left in the system. Fusion going to contest him a little bit. Sebward, awkward bounce off of him and Fusion. Bounces it up to Kamal. Josh gets past 1, but he's not going to be able to get past Fusion. As Fusion's able to at least dump it into the corner. Chase it himself, put on a little bit of a forecheck, and that will at least put on enough pressure to slow things down for a moment. So Sebward finally gets a little bit of control, and he dives right in, demos Fusion in the process. but his aggressive opportunity did end up getting taken away. But he's still not done yet. Still had enough boost to get himself back into the play. Sunblaze off the backboard, pushed aside by Fusion. Sebward knocks it right back in. Sunblaze looking for the one-timer. He misses his mark. Halfway through game number 5. St. Clair hanging on for dear life. Basically a reverse of what we had saw during game number 4. RIT had that 2-goal lead, but somehow in the last minute, St. Clair were able to turn it around, tie it up, and get into overtime. You know that's got to be sitting on both of these teams' minds right now. Sunblaze down to Sebward, sends it in towards the net. Kariz gonna try and pick it up, but gets completely checked off the ball by Sebward. That would have been on target, but Kamal gonna try and stop this. A huge save from Fusion, keeping that away from that left post. Shot from Sunblaze, going to go wide. Fusion in the corner along the wall, here to pick it up. Slows it down, gets past Josh nicely. Collects some boost as well. He can still find himself in this play. Kariz slows it down. Kamal going to look to try and push it into the corner a little bit deeper. It actually turns into a centering attempt, but it is not going to be past Sunblaze. Pushes it forward. Kamal puts it right back in. St. Clair doing a fantastic job so far of just stalling out this clock inside the RIT zone now. It was in their zone for a good little while here in this game, but now when it really counts, when the pressure is on, they're able to keep it on the RIT side of the field, and Sunblaze is getting frustrated. Went right after Kamal instantly, and he's actually Kariz going to pass it back to Kamal. Shot though, Kariz going to be forced to make the save. Always got to be careful with those, your pass backs to the defensemen. It is a good play, but if somebody's coming in hot on you, it could be a very bad time if you are not careful. 40 seconds left on the clock. Fusion going to pass this down to Kamal. Kamal's out of boost. He's going to go run and collect some more. I'm just going to end up dumping it in and resetting. Sebward looking to find Sunblaze. A loose ball in the crease, however. Can somebody finish this? Josh and Kariz had the one-on-one. Kariz going to win that one out. 20 seconds on the clock now for RIT. They find one shot, but Kamal with a huge save. Sunblaze going to keep this in, though. This might be the pressure they're looking for, but they're down to the last 10 seconds. If they want to get this into overtime, they need something within the next couple seconds. Fusion dumps into the corner, though, and I think that will actually do the trick. St. Clair barely going to secure themselves their next matchup in this playoff series. Winning this in a Game 5 fashion, but honestly, a gigantic amount of props to this Rochester Institute of Technology squad as they played absolutely fantastic in this series. Love to see matches like this. I was definitely nervous for the side of St. Clair, but they pull it off in the end. Fusion and Kariz finding the 2 goals in this one, and then Kamal in game number 4 was the absolute hero, finding the hat trick to secure the victory. Holy moly, and that's just our first matchup for tonight. We could be in for a long one. I hope you do stick with us here. In fact, I want to take a look real fast at what our matchups can look like. Because if anything, if seeding must be a little bit either like a little whack. Like RIT, if they were the 30th seed, they must have just had like a bunch of forfeits or something. Because I don't know. It's weird seeing team play that well yet be shown so low. So in fact, for the briefest of moments, I want to take a look at our playoff bracket here for this playoff season. Of course, we are up here. Just took down RIT Orange. We get to now play the winner between CSU Green and Cal Poly. That's going to be at 4:15, so you do not have to wait long. Scheduled matchup time for this is just another 5 to maybe 10 minutes away. Oh, we're going to be in for a great day of Rocket League. As long as our squad keeps on winning, I want to give, of course, big props to this St. Clair squad, because there is a good bit there where I was worried that just it ran away from them. They completely lost their footing, lost their communications, and they looked really hurt for game 2, 3, and even majority of game 4. But I don't know. I don't know if Kamal just popped off and everybody just got riled up and ready to go. But that is what you love to see. Huge plays from Kamal in game 4. And then Kariz and Fusion both getting on the scoreboard during game 5. The plays were there, but still a very, very solid matchup between these two teams. Rochester Institute of Technology, you guys were fantastic as well. Hate to see you knocked out early, but I'm sure we'll find you again in a season sometime soon. I definitely am going to look forward to that rematch. With that, the next matchup, of course, will be starting at 4:15 according to the schedule. So I'm going to take a very quick break, get some water, and we'll see who won between CSU Green and Cal Poly. And I'll definitely update you as soon as possible, as soon as I know that information. We'll get into the game very shortly. Thank you for sticking around. We'll see you soon.